My name is Vicki Littman. I live in Amagansett, and I've been in Amagansett for 51 years. Right now we're at Vicki's Veggies in Amagansett, 597 Montauk Highway. Well, normally we open up May 1st, and we're busy, but we don't really get busy until the middle to end of June when everyone's coming out for the summer, kids are out of school, so that's when it really turns into an extremely busy season for us. But from day one when I opened, it started, and it did not stop until the day we closed. I'd never seen that amount of business ever in May and June. So the influx of people coming out early really helped businesses out here. I worked 7 days a week, 10-hour days, and at times I was just so physically and mentally exhausted from it. But then I had to stop because I did realize that because there were so many businesses that were going out of business and people suffering, and I realized how grateful I was in this crazy way. I was exhausted, but realized that we were very fortunate out here for the businesses that could survive, to have all of our customers support us and to be able to thrive during such a horrible time for everyone. So I really was grateful. Exhausted, but grateful. There were so many unknowns for everyone at that time. And for me, it was really questioning whether I was going to open, because how do I do that safely for my family and my customers? It's something that I've never faced. Farmers face many challenges every year, weather challenges, but nothing at this size. We've never experienced it. So really I had to pause for a moment and just say, how am I going to do this? And if I'm opening. But then I just realized that our community really needed food at that time. Stores' shelves were being emptied. So for me, then I just realized, I have to do this for the community. I'm opening. I have to be there for the customers who've always been so good to me. And that's when I devised the first ever drive-through farm stand, because I really felt that I'd be able to open safely and provide food that the community really needed. Business-wise, I'm so fortunate. I mean, my mother, my father started me the stand. He's gone, but my husband and my daughters and my aunt and my uncle. I mean, they all helped me, and I couldn't do it without all of them because it's so much work. But I am fortunate to work with my family, and that's really important, especially during a time like this, because that was our, all of us were together, so we were safe because we were all family and we knew we didn't have COVID, so that really helped too. There was so much suffering, but it just showed me why I love this community so much, because we all really banded together and helped one another. I know that the food pantries out here were in desperate need of food and donations, and to see everyone come together and help those people was always touching to me, and I was so grateful for those people too. And it also brought a spotlight on the need out here, because everyone thinks it's so glamorous out here. They don't see that other side of the people struggling, and there were so many local people and families out of work that they all were able to rely on those food pantries. So that was like the silver lining, that the food pantries were able to get the support they needed from people that didn't know we existed. Just at the end of the day, I'd go home exhausted and I'd turn on the news and watch every night, the families that were losing their loved ones. And that was just so hard to see. And just the people struggling locally, couldn't pay their rent, couldn't pay their utilities. That was always really tough for me to see. God, I had so many conversations with customers, but for me, it was just the continuous conversations just about people struggling in their daily lives, family members that were so ill. They had COVID, they had passed away from COVID. The struggles that our students were having, kids were so affected by this because they weren't going to school. Some were depressed, some were suicidal. I mean, I heard many, many stories. So it always just, it was very difficult for me to hear those stories. But people, love to share those with me, because a lot of my customers have become family like to me over 40 years. So, I always like to be there for them too. Besides the drive-through, honestly, I still conduct my business like I always have. The personal service that we provide, you know, um, just treating everyone like family when they come in. Um, of course, we had hand sanitizers everywhere and wore face masks, and those things I hope will go away and I won't ever have to continue. But really, for me, I've always been such a small family business that we really have stuck true to what we have done. And that is, exceptional customer service is what people tell us. And, engaging with them and treating them like our family. And I've seen their children grow up over the years. And that's what I think is so important too. It's not just about business and making money, for me at least. It's about, just being there for each other and supporting each other in what's happening in their lives, or they support me with what's going on in my life. A lot of them were fearful, obviously, because of the unknown. But I did see a deep appreciation for the kids that were working here and for what they were doing, because they realized, I think, and appreciated the fact that we're here as essential workers. Like, we're not home with our families. We're here every day, taking risks, obviously, if you're being exposed. But they were really appreciative of that, and even grateful this year for it. Because there was continuously thank you so much for being here, and oh my gosh, we were so grateful, and we felt safe here, and so I think that was, what was important. I guess suffering, really. There were so many people suffering from different ways, whether it was family members getting COVID, um, suffering from, you know, not being able to work and support their families. It was a difficult time for everyone. It really was, and I don't think I've seen that on such a large scale out here in a very long time. I'm involved with the East Hampton Food Pantry. I'm the chairperson there. So I see and hear a lot of stories, but there was just so many people affected that I've never seen. People from all over, the world and the country, with their stories. And although we all, had some form of suffering, I just truly believe that it's made people kinder, and appreciative of what we do have out here. We almost live in a little bubble, in a community that is there for one another. It doesn't matter what your struggles are, we're going to help you. And so through all that suffering, to know that as a community we were there for one another, that's special.